All right, so we're gonna start on our backs in Shavasana today. Let me see am I in a good camera angle? I think so. So go ahead, just like how we end class, we're gonna begin that way. So just come lie on your back. Bring the arms out to the side. Make sure my phone is off. And face the palms up. And let the toes fall out to the side and let the eyes close. And for these first few moments, just allow the body to feel really heavy here. And just start to let your body relax and center. Sometimes starting in this position, there's literally zero effort in holding your body up. So sometimes it's a little easier for us to relax in this position and center in the start of class. But keeping your awareness focused here on your mat, start to breathe a little deeper and fill your belly. Good. Feel the belly lift as you inhale. And then feel the belly fall as you exhale. Take a few more deep belly breaths just like that. And try to relax the muscles in the belly to take in a deeper inhale. Fill up more, and then big exhale out. Good. One more really deep inhale. Relax the belly and fill it up, just like you were filling it like a balloon. And then big exhale out. Nice and slow. And then just allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. And just let your body sink into your practice this morning. So letting go of the events of your morning and really try not to think about the rest of your day. Just thinking about right now on your mat. And then start to reach the arms overhead and just get a nice big stretch. So point the toes, reach the arms back, and circle the ankles and the wrists. And then with the hands, interlace the fingers, and then press the palms out behind you. Right, so interlace the fingers, press the palms out and then away, and then point your toes. So press the hands behind you, reach the toes in front of you, and just stretch out really long, stretching through the sides of the waist. Good, breathing in here. And then exhale, release the arms down alongside you, and let's take the right knee into the chest and bring the hands around the shin. And then from here, start to lift the nose to the knee. So you're gonna lift the shoulders up off the mat and lift the chest up, and just instantly start to feel those abdominals engage a little bit here. Now flex both feet and reach through the left heel, float the left leg up. Good, hold here, draw the navel in and try to flatten your lower back down into the mat. Now release the hands and reach them towards the front of your mat or the back of your mat. Reaching towards the left foot. Good, keep the chest lifted. Now extend the right leg as best you can. So everything is lifted, shoulders are lifted, both legs are lifted. Flex the feet, reach through the heels. Good, hold and breathe here. Now taking the hand to either the back of the knee or the calf and start to pull the right leg in towards your nose a little bit more. Breathe. Now reach the arms up to the sky, hold, breathe, relax your face. One more inhale. Exhale, release everything down. Take a couple breaths. And then switching sides, left knee comes in, bring the hands around the left shin, and then start to reach your nose to the left knee. So the chest lifts, the upper back lifts. Flexing both feet, and then lifting that right leg to hover up off the mat. Breathe here. Flatten your lower butt back into the mat. Draw the navel in. Now reach your hands towards your right heel. Keep the chest lifted. Keep breathing. Relax the face. Go from here. Extend the left leg up as best you can. Doesn't have to be straight. I know I didn't say that on the other side. Good. Shoulders, chest are lifted. Reaching through both heels. Take the hands either to the back of the knee or the calf. Now start to pull the left knee in toward the face a little bit more. Good. Keep breathing. Good. Now reach the arms up to the sky. Hold and breathe. 3, 2, 1. Slowly release down. Place the hands onto your belly. And just notice and feel the heat that just those few movements created in the center of the body, in that core of the body. As we activate those core muscles, we literally create heat that starts to warm us from the inside out. So just take a second and notice that warmth. Good. And then when you're ready, take both knees in, and we'll take a couple rocks up and down the spine. Bring the hands behind the thighs, just massaging out the back. And then come all the way up to sit, and then to tabletop position. Good. Taking the wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tucking the toes, and spread the fingers out nice and wide. Spread the palms out wide, and really try to inch your toes in a little more towards your knees. I like to really tuck my toes in here because it really stretches out the feet if we really kind of focus on that flexion of that foot. And then from here, let's move through a couple cat-cows. Inhaling, drop the belly, arch the back, gaze up. And exhaling, ground, press the mat away, tuck the tailbone, look toward your belly button. And then move through those a couple times at your own pace. Right, so go slower or faster than me. Erring on the slower side, right? We always want to slow everything down in yoga. Slow the movement, slow the breath. And then therefore try to slow and quiet the mind. Right? Our movements can be a reflection and influence how the mind thinks and works. Right? And this is our chance to kind of slow the thoughts down, slow the thinking process down. Go ahead, take one more inhale and exhale. And then we'll all meet at center in a neutral spine. And then from here, you can take your left foot and step it to the outside of the mat. So it's going to come off of your mat out to the side. Just a variation of an easy twist here. Planting the right hand down, reach the left arm up. So your left foot is much wider than normal. Stretching through the chest, reach the left fingers up. And then start to peel the chest open more toward the sky. So draw the left ribs back and draw the left arm back, almost as if the left arm can fall behind you. And just look where it's comfortable. Take some breaths. One more inhale here. And exhale, release the right hand down. And then from here, you're going to straighten the left leg behind you. I just have to move up a little bit. And you're going to come into point the right toe, and almost like a half of a child's pose. So one knee is bent, the back leg is straight. I just need to move up a little bit. And then reach the arms in front of you, come into those gecko hands, so they come onto the tips of the fingers. Good, now draw the shoulders back and down, lift the chest, and isometrically pull the fingertips back to lift the heart. So find a little tiny back bend here. Good, roll the inner left thigh up to the sky, lift the chest. One more breath. Good, go ahead, slide the hands back. And make your way back to tabletop position, and we'll come into the other side. And now stepping the right foot off of the mat, out to the side. Plant the left hand down. Reaching your right arm up for just a nice easy twist, starting to open the chest here. And you might even feel it in that bottom bicep as you stretch. Reach the right fingertips up. Now start to lean the right arm back and draw the right ribs back, almost like as if that arm can kind of fall behind you, and then just gaze wherever it's comfortable for you. Good, one more breath. And as you exhale, float the right hand down. Now start to extend the right leg behind you and shift the hips back. So you're going to come to sit on the left heel, almost like a half version of child's pose. Reach the arms out in front of you and come to the tips of the fingers. Draw the shoulders down. So instead of leaning forward, more of a child's pose, we're going to work on a little back bend action. So tips of the fingers draw isometrically back on the mat. Lift the chest, draw the shoulders back and down. Broaden the collarbone and breathe. Good, one more inhale. And as you exhale, walk the hands in. And we'll just take a full child's pose just to find a center and balancing position. Reaching the arms forward, let's make it an active child's pose. So let's come to those same hands, the tips of the fingers. Now your head might not be on the ground here, and that's okay because we're just in a more activating version of child's pose. Hips reach to the heels, and you still want to find that drawing back on the fingertips. So isometrically draw the fingertips in towards you, send the front of the spine forward, draw the shoulder blades down the back. Good, press the hips back, stretch through the sides of the waist. Neck is in line with the spine. And as you inhale, slowly bring yourself back up to tabletop position. And actually, we'll take the hands a little bit forward, so we're going to set up more for a down dog stance. So move the hands a couple inches ahead of the shoulders here. Spread the fingertips out. From here, rotate your elbow creases forward. Right, so we have this internal, where the elbow creases draw in, and external rotation, where the elbow creases draw out. We want to find that external rotation. And as we come into the pose, we're going to naturally want to spin the elbows in. So let's try to fight that and keep those elbow creases pointing forward as we come into this down dog position. So plant the hands, tuck the toes, spin the elbow creases forward, lift the knees a couple inches off the mat, and very slowly notice what happens to the elbow pits as you press back to downward facing dog. Now they're going to want to roll in, so try to roll them forward. Adjust your stance if you need to. I was a little short on mine. Good. So as we come into this big upside down V shape, try to maintain that external rotation in the arms. So elbow creases forward, and that's what really helps that overhead position and really opens up the whole shoulder capsule. Now press the hands down to reach the hips back. And as you reach the hips back, reach the heels down. Good. Relax the head. And draw the navel in. As you inhale, come forward to plank. We'll move through a modified chaturanga, so lowering the knees. Exhale, lower down to the mat, elbows hugged in. Point the feet, press the tops of the feet down. Inhale, lifting up, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes. Now from here, lift your kneecaps and your thighs. Now pull your belly in. Squeeze the elbows together, so you should be in a really engaged position here. And one piece, press up to plank. And then back to down dog. Good. Take a few breaths here, guys. Shake out the head a little bit if you need to. Shake it out yes and no. Good. And then let's start to make our way to the front of the mat. So little tiptoe, baby steps, nice and slow, right? We want to slow things down in our practice. We can influence the mind with our movement. So if we're nice and mindful and slow and controlled, right, we can encourage the mind to do the same. Once you're there, take a nice wide stance, bend the knees, and hang in ragdoll for a couple breaths, and just rock from side to side, holding on to opposite elbows. then switch your grip for a couple rocks and breaths. Release the elbows, heel toe your feet back together. And with a soft bend to the knee and a really heavy upper body and head, roll up one vertebrae at a time, very mindfully and slowly. Try to notice all the movements and the sensations in your body throughout your practice. Good. Tadasana, face the palms forward. Now as you press down through the feet, stand taller and stand lighter. Draw the navel in, reach the tailbone down. Good. Sun salute. A, inhale, reach the arms out around and up. Exhale, long spine, forward fold. Inhaling up to a flat back, fingertips to the mat or hands to the shins. Exhale, lower the hands, stepping back to plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Keep the elbows hugged in. We stop halfway. Inhaling to upward facing dog, straighten the arms. Elbow creases rotate forward here, same rotation. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take some breaths, nice deep breaths, in and out through the nose. Good, now bring the big toes to touch. Come all the way up onto your tippy toes. Bend the knees, look between the hands, either step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhaling to halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Press down to the feet, reach the arms out, around and up, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good, so I'm going to break down a sun, so that's sun salute A. I'm going to break down a sun salute B for you guys, and then we're going to go through it on the breath, kind of like how we did last week with that standing sequence. So the sun salutes are meant to warm our body in the beginning of the practice. So sun salute B starts with chair pose. So as you inhale, bend the knees, drop the seat, and reach the arms up alongside the ear. So you should be able to see your toes. And for us CrossFitters, right, we always want the weight in the heels. So same thing here. We're going to keep the weight in the heels, lift the chest, and reach through the fingertips. Good. Draw the navel in. Try to tuck your tailbone just a bit to keep that midline engaged. Good. Press down through the feet. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhaling up to a flat back. This part is familiar to you guys. Exhale, lower the hands, stepping back to plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Good. And from here, we're going to lift the right leg up into the air behind you on your inhale. Exhale, step it between your hands. Spin the left heel down. Warrior one. So our sun salute B adds a chair pose and it adds a warrior one pose. Draw the navel in and to the right. Keep the shoulders square forward. Reach through the fingertips. Nice deep bend to that front knee and press into the outer edge of that back foot. Good. Think about spinning the inner left thigh back. One more inhale here. Exhale, lower the hands down. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Good, now let your inhale lift the left leg up into the air behind you. Exhale, step it between your hands. Spin the right heel down, warrior one. Arms reach straight ahead and up. Good, now navel in and to the left. Shoulders square forward, reach through the fingertips. Ground down through the outer edge of the right foot. Spin the inner right thigh back. Nice deep bend to that left knee. Breathe. Good. Exhale, float the hands down. Try to stay with the breath. Inhale, back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Couple breaths here. And we're going to do one more of the same sequence starting from standing, a little bit quicker on the breath, and we'll try to find that vinyasa of the sequence, that moving with breath. From here, bring the big toes to touch. Come all the way up onto the tippy toes. Bend the knees. Look between the hands, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair pose, bend the knees, drop the seat, reach the arms up alongside the ears. Hold here, press into the heels, lift the arms, sit a little deeper. Go ahead, inhale, straighten the legs, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Close the eyes, take a couple breaths. Now same sequence, moving a little quicker just with the breath. So each movement will be paired with a breath. So try your best to follow along. You can also go slower or faster than me. I'll of course do it with you. Good, blink the eyes open. Sun salute bead with the breath. Inhale to chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, lower the hands, stepping back to plank and right into chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts behind you. Exhale, step the right foot between your hands, spin the left heel down. Inhale, warrior one. We're just here for the inhale. Exhale, float the hands down. Inhale, back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Right into the left side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps between the hands, right heel spins down just for a breath. Breathe in, warrior one. Exhale, float the hands down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing, and hold here. So this is also an opportunity to catch up with your breath or slow your breath down, and if you found it got a little fast, use this down dog hold to bring it back to a nice, easy rhythm. Good, guys. A few more breaths here. Bring the big toes to touch. Come up all the way onto your tippy toes. Bend the knees, look between the hands, and step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Press down through the feet. Inhale to Utkatasana, chair pose. And exhale, Tadasana. Good. Close the eyes, couple moments and breathe. Slow the breath. Mindful breaths. Good, and then from here we'll come right into a tree pose. So let's start by pressing down and grounding through the right foot. And taking the left toes to the mat, left foot to the calf, or left foot to the inner thigh. And you can use your hand to kind of bring it up there. You just don't want to be on your knee joint. Let the hands meet at the center of the heart. So focus on something that's not moving in front of you. Draw the navel in. And if you feel up to it, reach the arms out and spread the palms. So picture the visual of a tree, right? Rooting down like you're rooting down through your right leg and growing bigger up top like you're reaching through the fingertips. Right? And just like a tree, we're not going to be perfectly balanced. We're going to kind of sway as we try to counterbalance those fluctuations in movement, right? So we're not going to be perfectly still. So notice those tiny movements in this pose. Good. Bring the palms to touch overhead. And exhale, draw the thumbs to the center of the heart. Release the left leg down. And then we'll come right into the other side. Again, either right toes to the mat, right foot to the calf, or right foot all the way to the inner thigh. And of course, use your hand to get it up there if you need to. Palms meet at the center of the heart. Grounding down through the left leg, just like a root of a tree, and then reaching up, spread the palms out, or spread the arms apart. Right? Just like branches of a tree, getting bigger up top, but still sturdy. And just notice this tiny movements as you try to catch your balance continuously in this pose. Right, so even in the stillness, there's some movement. It's okay. Good. Palms come to touch overhead. Exhale, thumbs to the center of the heart. Releasing the right leg back down. And releasing the hands alongside you back into Tadasana. Go ahead, stand tall, press down through the feet. Inhale, reach the arms out, around and up. Exhale, long spine, forward fold. Inhaling up to a flat back. Exhale, lowering the hands, stepping back. Plank pose, lower down, chaturanga. Keep the elbows hugged in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Go ahead, inhale, lift the right leg up into the air behind you. And exhale, step it between your hands. And we're going to come back into warrior one. So spin the left heel down. Reach the arms straight ahead and up. Good, belly in and to the right. Square the shoulders forward and ground down like you mean it through the outer edge of that left foot. And spin the inner left thigh back. That's going to help square the the hips a little bit. Draw the right hip crease back. Good, now from here, coming into high lunge, so the only thing that's going to change is you're going to lift up onto your back toes. And you'll probably have a little bit of bend to that back knee. Navel draws in, tailbone tucks. Reaching through the fingertips. Breathing in here. And as you breathe out, lower the hands to frame the front foot. Plant the left hand down. Right arm comes up for an easy twist. Good, hold there. Press through the back leg and draw the right side of the ribcage back. Good, gaze up if it's comfortable. Beautiful, guys. Nice deep breaths. Good, so we're going to keep the arms in this T or airplane position. Now pressing down to the right foot, keep reaching your your right fingertips up and then back. So we're going to come up to the stand, but we're still in that twisting position. So chest is twisted to the right, front knee is still bent in that lunge position. Now reach your right fingertips towards the inside of your left thigh as you reach the left arm up. Good, stretch through the fingertips, maybe look up if it's comfortable at your left fingertips. Good, keep the deep bend to that right knee. One more inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step into a three-legged dog. So we're going to keep that right leg lifted just to find a nice little hip stretch. Point the right toes, and now try to stack your right hip on top of the left. Right leg is straight, and reach through the inseams of the leg. Good, now bend the knee. And now lift the kneecap up to the sky, get a little further into that hip. Good, go ahead and straighten that right leg again. Square the hips back down, right leg stays lifted. Optional three-legged plank into a three-legged chaturanga. If you did that, lower the feet down for your up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, guys, hold and breathe. Again, notice the breath. Slow it down every time you come to this position. Inhale, left leg lifts up into the air. Exhale, step it between your hands. Right heel spins down. Reaching up, warrior one, right? So that back heel is down for warrior one. Hips square, shoulders, hips square forward. Shoulders square forward, sorry. And then we work on trying to square the hips forward. They might not be as square as they are on the high lunge, but think about the right left thigh bone plugging in, belly in into the left. Press into the outer edge of your right foot. Spin the inner right thigh back. Good, reach through the fingertips. Breathe. And as we transition to high lunge, the only thing that changes is that right heel lifts. And you're going to have a slight bend to that back knee. Good, reach up through the fingertips. Awesome, guys. Keep a good bend to that front knee. Good, take one more inhale. Exhale, float the hands down to frame the front foot. Inhale, left arm lifts for an easy twist. Good, draw the left side of the rib cage back and press through a straight back leg. Good, guys. Gaze up if it's comfortable. Nice deep breaths, relax your face. Good, now same thing, is we're gonna keep the arms in this airplane or T position. Press down to the left foot. Reach your left fingertips up and then behind you. So you're gonna come up to stand, but you're still in that twisting position. Good, keep reaching the left fingertips back, spine is tall. Now start to reach your left fingertips toward the inner right thigh as you reach the right arm up and back. So we're gonna find a nice little back bend, side stretch here. If it's comfortable, look up. Keep a nice deep bend to that left knee. Beautiful, guys. Stay there. Reach through the right fingers. One more inhale. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands to frame the front foot. We're going to come back into that three-legged dog stretch first. So left leg lifts up behind you. Left leg is straight and point the toes. And try to stack the left hip over the right. And reach and stretch through the inseams of the legs. Good. Now bend that left knee and reach your right kneecap up to the sky a little bit more, getting a little deeper into that hip. Beautiful. Good, now re-straighten that left leg, bring the hips back to square into three-legged dog. Option to come into a three-legged plank, so you can keep that leg lifted or you can lower it. Again, option for three-legged chaturanga. For upward facing dog, you're going to lower the feet. Inhale to your back bend. Exhaling downward facing dog, or if you need child's pose for a couple breaths, go ahead and take a quick child's pose, your choice. Wherever you are, just focus on your breathing, right? This is your chance to regroup your breath and regroup your thoughts. Good, as you inhale, well, let's all meet back in downward facing dog first. And then inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower all the way down onto your bellies. And just resting the right cheek on the forehead for just a couple moments. And then taking the chin and the forehead back to the mat. So taking the head back in neutral. Bring the arms behind the back, interlace the fingers. Point the toes. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, lift everything up into that back bend position. If you can't quite get the fingertips, you can just reach back here. Good, zip the inner thighs together. Now reach the knuckles back, send the heart forward. Keep the neck in line with the spine. Deep breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Turning onto the left cheek for just a couple seconds of breath. And then bringing the forehead or chin back to the mat. And actually from here, we're gonna roll onto our right side. So we're gonna try a side locust pose. This is kind of an interesting pose. You'll see what I mean once we come into it. So you want your body nice and straight. You're gonna be on your right side and you're gonna take your left hand just in front of you to start. Excuse me, stacking your feet and flexing your feet. Lifting the left leg up. And now lifting the right leg up to meet the left leg. So our legs are lifted, our feet are flexed and they're stacked. Now reach your left arm up to the sky. And you might start to feel a little wobbly and shaky here, and it's totally normal. So I said it's an interesting pose. Now we're gonna lift our right arm up. You probably see me shaking here. And then try to bring the left arm to frame the head. Right, so we're like doing a side bend on our side, sometimes called fish out of water pose, because we kind of flop around like a fish out of water. Good, lift your legs, lift your arms, pinch that left side of the waist, use those obliques to hold you up. Good, one more inhale. Exhale, release. So we're gonna come right into the other side. I'm just gonna flip around so I can face you. All right, so roll into that left side. Left arm straight out in front of you. One straight line with the body. Stack the legs, flex the feet, and take your right hand just in front of you to start. Same way we came in, we're gonna come on this side. So first lift your right leg up, feet are flexed and super active. And then lift the left leg up to meet the right. So legs are lifted, feet are flexed, and they're stacked. Go, draw the navel in. Now reach your right arm up to the sky. Now lift your bottom arm up, your left arm up. And if you can, bring your right arm to frame your head. Good, little fish out of water, side locust pose. Good, lift, try to come into that side bend position. Lift higher, breathe. Good, one more inhale. Exhale, go ahead and release back to your bellies. And we'll even out with one more locust pose. Well, let's keep the arms ahead of us. Arms extended in front of us. Pinky fingers down on the mat, thumbs lifted up. Zipper the legs together. Take an inhale. And exhale, lift. Lift the arms, lift the legs, reach through the toes. Good, try to bring the arms to frame the ears. Good, hold and breathe. Good, keep lifting to slide the arms back alongside the ribs. And then exhale, release. And nice and easy, press back to child's pose. Good, relax the arms. And this time you can let the head rest. We got one more standing sequence to do. Go take a few breaths there. And when you're ready, coming back to downward facing dog. Good, guys. All right, from here, right leg lifts into the air behind you as you inhale. Exhale, step the right foot between your hands, and this time we're setting up for warrior two. So spin the back heel down, front heel lines to the back, middle of the foot, left arm reaches up, forward up into the back of the room. So the arms cartwheel out to that warrior two position. So there should be a line from your front heel to the middle of your back foot. Nice bend to that front knee. Make sure you can see your bright big toe. Press the right knee out to the pinky toe side of the foot. And then from here, send your gaze to the long edge of your mat and take the arms behind you and interlace the fingers. Right? If you can't get that, if you have a strap or towel, if not, you can take the hands to your hips and squeeze the elbows together. Good. Draw the knuckles down to the mat. Lift the heart and draw the navel in. Keep the right knee bent. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, we're going to come into a side angle position, but keep the interlace of the fingers, of the arms behind our back. So we're going to tip the right shoulder toward the right knee. And as we do this, we're going to draw the left rib cage back and gaze up. Good. Deep bend to that right knee. Breathe here. Go ahead, take an in-breath. Keep the same position of your torso. You're just going to straighten that right leg. So now we're coming into a triangle pose, just with a little different arm variation. Go ahead, knuckles still reach back, heart reaches forward. Left side of the rib cage draws back. Good, and nice and easy, nothing about the rest of the body changes, just the arms are going to release, and the right hand's going to meet the shin, left arm's going to come up into your traditional triangle pose or Trikonasana. Good, keep moving the left ribs back in space. Spin the inner left thigh down to your mat, spin the inner right thigh forward. Go from here, take your left hand to your left hip. Gaze down, step your back foot in, moving into half moon pose. So sorry, I can't talk today, guys. Slowly shift your weight onto your right foot as the left leg lifts behind you. Right fingertips are about a foot ahead of that right foot to the pinky toe side of that foot. Extend the left arm up if it's available to you. And then from here you can play with taking a little bit of weight off that bottom hand. So maybe your right arm lifts and reaches forward. Maybe your right hand stays down. However you're feeling today. Go ahead, breathing here. Nice and control, and in slow motion, start to bend your right knee and float back to warrior two. That wasn't very graceful for me. Inhale just for a breath, reverse your warrior. And then exhale, carve the hands down, framing the front foot, stepping back to plank, and moving through a vinyasa, or just meet us in down dog. Awesome, guys. All right, one more side, and then the hard part's over. Inhale, left leg lifts up into the air behind you. Exhale, step it between the hands. Right heel spins down, warrior two. So right arm reaches forward, up to the back of the room. There's a line from your front heel to the middle of your back foot. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. And then turn your gaze toward the long edge of the mat. Bring the arms behind you. Find the opposite interlace. So place your opposite thumb on top. And if you're not sure, just try the other way. And it probably feels weird, so that's probably the side that you did not do. Then reach the knuckles down, lift the heart. Keep a solid, good bend to that left knee. Press the left knee out to the pinky toe side of the foot. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhaling, side angle with just a different arm variation. So left shoulder dips toward the left knee. And as you do this, draw the right side of the rib cage back and look up. Good, breathe. Go ahead, inhale here. Keep the torso in the same position. Exhale, just straighten the left leg. So now you're in a triangle version with just a different arm variation here. Keep reaching the knuckles back. Send the heart forward. Right side of the ribcage draws back. Good. Nothing changes about the rest of the pose, just the arms release. Left arm down, right arm up into our classic Trikonasana or triangle pose. Go ahead, gaze up if it's comfortable, and continue to draw the right side of the ribcage back. Good. From here, right hand meets the hip, gaze down, step your back foot in, shift your weight onto that left foot as you lift the right leg for a half moon pose, balancing half moon pose. Right arm extends. Go and you can make the pose a little bit harder by lifting some pressure off of the bottom arm. Maybe even reach your left arm forward along. Yeah, nice, Robin. Changes everything. Awesome, guys. Wherever you are, hold, give it a try, play around. All right, a lot of our practice is just experimenting and trying and seeing how the body feels. Good. And then as slow and as floaty, as mindful as you can, bend the left knee, Reach the right foot back, float without making a sound back into warrior two. Inhale, flip and reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, framing the front foot, stepping back to plank pose. Let's move through our final vinyasa. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Good. Inhale, upward facing dog. Beautiful. Exhale, downward facing dogs. Take 3 deep breaths in down dog. And then come to child's pose. So 3 nice deep breaths. And then rest in child's pose. Good. Nice relaxed version. So arms soft, knees wide, hips back to the heels. Good. Very nice, guys. Take some breaths. Let's walk the hands in and shift the hips to either side to come to sit with the legs straight in front for a Dandasana or staff pose. And then let's bend the right knee, get a couple twists in before we finish up. So right knee bends, bottom of the right foot to the mat, and then take the right arm behind you. So think of this arm here as almost like a kickstand. As you press down, you can lift up, right? You're gently pressing down with that back hand to extend the spine. Inhale, reach the left arm up and lengthen even further as you exhale, twist to the right. So you have the option to either hook the elbow to the outside of the knee or just wrap the arm around that knee. Keep an active left leg and your right hand gently pressing down to lift the spine and rotate the ribs to the right. So try to bring the left ribs to the right side of that mat as you sit nice and tall. Good. Exhale, release back to center. And then we'll take the right knee out to the side and bring the bottom of the right foot to the inner right thigh. And then take your arms to frame your left leg and then walk your hands over to the left. So we're going to first come into a twist and then find a forward fold over that left leg. But first twist over to the left. Good, and then slowly walk back as you walk your hands toward the toes. So we're going to release from that twist and find ourselves in a forward fold over that left leg. Good. Keep the shoulders drawn away from the ears, so we want to try not to round the upper back too much here. All right, focus on the front of your spine, reaching toward the toes, and your belly reaching and pressing into the top of that left thigh. Good. Doesn't matter if you touch your toes or not. If it's right there, great, but don't overreach for them and round the back. Let's slowly walk the hands in. Bring that right knee back in and then straighten the right leg and coming right into the other side. So starting first with the bottom of the left foot on the mat. Left knee bent. Left arm comes behind you again like a little kickstand. As you press the left hand down, lift the chest and sit taller. And then reach your right arm up and sit even taller as you lengthen up. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Either hooking the elbow or wrap the arm around that knee. Active right foot, flex the right foot, gaze over your left shoulder, and keep drawing the right side of the rib cage towards the left. Go ahead, sit tall and breathe. Release back to center. Drop the left knee out to the side and take the left foot to the inner right thigh. You can use your hands on inside on the other side, but you can use your hands to place it there. And then hands on either side of that right foot, right leg. And then both hands to the outside of that right leg and twist. So just kind of keep walking your fingers further to the right, finding that twisting motion of the spine. And then as you walk your hands, releasing from the twist, walk your hands towards your foot as you release from that twist right into that forward fold. So that kind of sets you up really nice because there's a little twist in this pose regardless. So we kind of over twist and then we kind of find ourselves right where we need to be. Again, I don't care if you can touch the feet or the toes at all. If your hands are there, great. But don't lose the benefits of the forward fold by rounding your shoulders, right? Once we round our shoulders, we're not really benefiting. Think about the front of the spine reaching toward the toes and the belly reaching toward the top of the thigh. All right, so the forward fold happens with the hinge in the hips, not with the rounding of the back. Good. Slowly walk the hands in. Bring that left knee back up and straighten the left leg. And then with both legs straight, so we're going to roll our thighs in. So you take your hands to your left thigh and just roll your inner thigh down to the mat. And then take your hands to the right thigh and roll your inner thigh down to the mat. This just creates a nice, even and internal rotation in those legs in this position. And then as you inhale, reach up. Again, I don't care if you reach your toes. Exhale, hinge forward by drawing the belly to the top of the thighs and sending the front of your spine towards your toes. And then wherever your arms land is just where they land. Space between the shoulders and the ears. No hunching or rounding in that upper back. Take some breaths here as we find a stretch to the entire back of the body here. All right, from the bottoms of the heels, up the backs of the legs, up the back, ending at the very crown of the head, right? That whole myofascial line on the back body opening up. And then slowly release. And you're going to bend the knees and slowly make your way onto your backs. And just finish up with any pose that you feel like you need right now. Maybe it's just a knees rocking like this. I'll give you guys some suggestions. We can do a happy baby. You guys can do a twist. You can take the legs into Baddha Konasana. You can even do give myself some room. You can come into a plow pose by bringing the legs overhead. So any one of those. And maybe you're done and you just want to find Shavasana, and that's fine too. So any final finishing touches you want to put on your practice. If there's something I didn't mention, go ahead and do that. And then slowly finishing up and making your way into Shavasana. So exactly where we started the class. We're going to finish the class today, even though we always finish here in Shavasana. Again, taking the feet wider, toes fall out to the sides, palms facing up. And if you have room, feel free to take your shape a little wider, almost like a starfish. So maybe the hands and the legs come a little wider. And you could spread out a little bit. If you do have something to cover your eyes, maybe you can cover your eyes and block that light out. And just think in the beginning where we just let our body feel really heavy. We're going to just try to find that same sensation, right? Maybe a little easier now because we've kind of wrung out all this energy and we did a bunch of work. So it feels a little more satisfying at the end of the practice. So go with that feeling. Letting go of all the muscular energy. So feel the muscles just completely relaxing. No more holding you up, no more tensing, no more moving, no more holding any positions. Completely relaxed. Right, as your body is supported by the earth underneath you, your muscles don't have to work to hold you up anymore. And then also try to let the bones feel a little heavier here, and the organs feel a little heavier, and the skin a little heavier, almost as like if it was covering you like a weighted blanket. Let the eyes rest heavy in their sockets, and allow the teeth to separate as you soften the sides of the face and the jaw. Relax the skin of the face and soften the space between your eyebrows. And try to allow the stillness of this pose to influence the mind. So as you lay still in this pose, can we find a still mind, a quiet mind? And yes, easier said than done. But if you notice yourself thinking, just simply try to allow the thoughts to leave your mind. So let your mind be as still as the pose you're in right now. Start to deepen your breath and invite small movements back in through the fingers and toes. Circle the ankles and the wrists, and rock your head from side to side. Move or stretch in any way you need to reawaken. And when you're ready, bend the knees and roll all the way onto the right side, resting your head on your bottom arm just like it was a pillow. Spend a couple breaths there. And then slowly make your way up to a comfortable seated position, letting the hands meet at the center of the heart with the thumbs gently touching the center of the chest. And we'll close with one Om, breathing in. Om. The light within me sees and honors the same light within each of you. Thank you for sharing your practice this morning. Namaste, guys.